Yeah, this right here is what this scooter's designed for. Nice, smooth, black top. This is the Caroma EP66 Pro scooter. Now this is a city style scooter that's coming in at a super low price right now of $289. Now this particular one does come with a 500-watt rear hub motor that also has an electronic brake built into it. And then built into the base is a 48-volt, 7.8 amp hour battery that they're claiming that you can get around 25 miles with. Now to me, that 25-mile claim seems to be a little bit long for the size of battery that this comes with, but if you were running it at a lower speed and it was on flat terrain, you could probably get pretty close with that. Now the base measurement on this is going to be right around 24.3 inches long and 7.1 inches wide. This is a pretty nice base. I really like this rubber matte type finish that they've got on here. Super, super grippy and looks really, really durable. All the welds on this look really clean and crisp. This is probably one of the most finished looking scooters that I've ever received. I absolutely love these running lights down here that also correspond with a headlight and a working tail light. The tail light on the back of this does actually blink whenever you hit the brakes. Now it does have a kickstand up here towards the front. I'm used to seeing them in the back, but this one's up front. It is a little bit too long. The scooter, I find, doesn't lean over enough and can have a tendency of falling over the opposite direction. Now, to see this brake light in action, I really do like the flashing pattern. It flashes really quick and then shuts off and turns back on. That quick flashing on and off really does draw your attention. Now up in the front wheel, you are going to get a drum brake. So these are completely adjustable. And then you're also going to get this nice sticker reflector on the side. You have one on the back just like this too. This is really nice to have all of these lights and reflectors on here. Makes you super visible whenever you're going down the road in dark situations. Now the tires are 10-inch solid tires. Now these do feel a little bit more rigid and stiff than some of the other solid tires that I've ridden on scooters before, but we're just gonna have to get these out on the road and actually see how they feel overall. So you'll notice that this has a solid fork up front here, so you're not gonna have any suspension on this scooter. It is really designed for road use only. Mainly stick to concrete and asphalt on this particular scooter. Now, like any good city scooter worth its weight in gold, it's going to be foldable. And this particular one does not disappoint, as it can lock in and then you can lift it up just like this. And then just like lowering the handlebar, it's just as easy to raise it up and lock it into place. Now I find that this scooter has a really nice height for the handlebars. It's right around 47 inches. Now the handlebars come in right around 19.2 inches, which is relatively short, but still really nice if you're wanting to transport this in and out of buildings or in and out of your car. Now the grips that come on here are just a rubbery style grip with some ergonomics to them. They feel pretty comfortable. You do get a power button here that's built into your throttle. Your throttle is going to be right here. Now the throttle will not engage unless you're actually moving on the scooter. So you will have to kickstart and then you can use your throttle. You do get this nice kind of semi-colored display that's integrated into the stem. I think this looks really nice and futuristic. Gives you the information that you really need. You're going to have your speed setting, your miles per hour, your distance, and then your battery bar indicator. And then over here, we're going to get our control panel. You're going to get your light on, your ambient light on. You're going to get a cruise control button, which I really do like to see. It's not just an auto on. You can hit that button and it'll set the cruise at whatever speed you're at. And then you've got your up and down arrows to change through your speed settings. Now this particular one does have 3 different settings. You've got E for eco, D for, I guess, drive, and then S for speed. I'm assuming that's what that means. And then you do have 1 brake lever. Now this particular brake lever will actually brake the drum brake up front and then the electric brake in the motor. So now that you guys know a little bit more about the E66 Pro, let's go ahead and see if it lives up to all of its stats that the company's claiming that it can do. All right, so climbing up a hill here on eco mode, this thing gets up to about 9 miles an hour on eco, and it's doing a great job. There's plenty of torque in this motor. It's surprising. A lot of the scooters that I review that are sub $500, there's not a huge amount of torque in these. So the eco mode or the lowest setting mode doesn't really perform all that well. This one's doing great, 9 miles an hour, comfortable speed. Let's put it on the second level, which is D. And we are gonna get up to, it's pulling up this hill. I'm telling you, this thing has got surprising amount of torque on it. But 15 miles an hour, really comfortable. Let's go up to the speed mode. Oh yeah, this thing picks up really well. 20 miles an hour, it's hitting that speed that they claimed it could hit with no problems whatsoever. And these tires are actually performing really well. I was a little worried that they would be really harsh, being that they're a harder rubber, but yeah, really pleased with it so far. Let's try out the cruise control now that we're going 20. All right, cruise control is on. And yeah, this thing works really, really well. I wonder what it'll do whenever I go down to, say, drive and I've got cruise control on. Okay, so cruise control turns off whenever you switch down. It's gonna be 15 miles an hour. Let's see, got to have the throttle on. So put the throttle on, get up to 15, hit cruise, and now we're cruising at 15 miles an hour. This thing is really comfortable for I think this is selling for right around $300 right now. Not bad, not bad. It's not super, super jerky. It's really pretty smooth. Sometimes you get these rear hub motors and they can push you really hard, where a front wheel motor for a single is a little bit smoother, in my opinion, based off of experience that I've had on a few of these. But the rear wheel motors tend to have a little bit more kind of hill power, I guess you could say. Now the bell works really, really well. I love this style of bell on scooters. I've been seeing it a lot lately. It's integrated into the brake, but it just allows you to pull it and then release it, and it rings it twice for you, which is kind of a friendly thing, because generally whenever you're, say, on a greenway path or a sidewalk and you need to let people know that you're coming, that you ring a bell twice. So let's go ahead and we're gonna bump this up to speed, and then we're gonna take it over to that hill climb and see what it can do. Now let's test out the brakes here. And these brakes work pretty good. And what I like about a drum brake versus a disc brake is they can be a little bit quicker to adjust for a lot of people, because you do have a little screw that you can adjust in the back of it. But also, this one has that electronic brake, and I feel like it's compensating for the speed that you're going. So whenever I'm going a little bit slower, it doesn't feel like it brakes near as hard as compared to whenever I'm going a little bit faster. Gets up to 19%, so it's going to be a true test of the claim that this thing can handle a 20% hill. This is what it looks like on my iPhone. Gives you a little bit better representation of how steep this hill actually is. We're going to see how well it does. I have my doubts it can make it up this, because this 19% is super steep. We're going about 14 miles an hour. I've got it in speed mode. This section right here is roughly about 12%. And it's struggling up it already. So I don't think it's gonna make it all the way up this. We're gonna keep pushing until this thing just won't move anymore, or I fall off the scooter. Yeah, this is not even the probably 15% section, and it's really having a hard time here. I'm going 4 miles an hour in speed mode. I mean, it's still climbing. I gotta give it that. It hasn't stopped, so we're gonna keep going until this thing doesn't get any further. And we gained a mile an hour, so that's really good, but we are pushing this motor like crazy. Drop down 4 miles an hour. This is the slowest hill climb I have ever done. Oh, it's gonna get hard to balance here in just a second. This car's like, what the heck is this guy doing? 4 miles an hour, 3 miles an hour. This is about 15 to 16%, 2 miles an hour. Still going, 1 mile an hour. All right, that's it. So I didn't make it all the way up the hill. I didn't even make it to the 19% grade. So the claim that this thing can handle a 20% grade is not accurate. I would say you probably don't want to go more than like an 8 to 10% hill, and it would be a short one at that. All right guys, let's head back and talk about the things I love about this scooter and the things that I don't like about this scooter. So now that we've had a ride and we know a lot more about the Caroma, what are the things that I love about the scooter and the things that I don't love about the scooter? Well, this thing has a lot going for it. It's a really good city-based scooter. And the things that I love on the scooter are definitely a longer list than the things that I don't love about it. So let's go ahead and start off with the things that I love about this scooter. I really do love the base on this scooter. It's super, super grippy. I never had to worry about my feet slipping off of it. All the lighting and the reflectors are really, really nice. I like how the side lights and the tail light all blink whenever you go to hit the brakes. The welds look really good on this. It folds up really, really easy. And I love having that cruise control button. Most of these scooters have a cruise control that auto sets, and if you want that on and you get up to a speed and hold it, it would turn on. I never have liked that type of cruise control, but with this one, you can set it at whatever speed you want and just hit that button and it'll stay in the cruise control until you hit the brake. So really cool design on that. Now onto the things that I don't love about this scooter. Now the first thing that I didn't love about this scooter is that they said that it could do a 20% hill climb, and we proved that it definitely couldn't do that. It could barely get up to 15%. And like I said, this thing would probably only be good up to about 8 to 10%. But reality is you don't really want to take this in a real hilly area. And lastly, the only other thing that I don't love about this scooter is the fact that there's no suspension. It does make for quite a harsh ride when it comes to bumpy roads. And there you go, that's the Caroma scooter, and I think dollar for dollar, this scooter does come in at the right price point. Now, if you guys decide that this is the scooter for you, or you want to do a little bit more research, I've got some links below directly to where you can purchase this scooter. But if this isn't the scooter for you, check out my playlist at the end of the video because there might be one in there that works perfectly for you. All right, if you guys are still watching, you are super dedicated and I really appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed, you might as well click that subscribe button because it's completely free. And also, if you want to become a member to support this channel, go over to my members tab on my YouTube page and you'll see over there are 5 different levels to choose from, all the way down to 99 cents a month. So when you become a member, there are a couple different benefits that you get. One is pre-released videos before anybody else sees them. And during that period before they go public, they will be ad-free. Not only that, if you join and you want an official Run Bike Mike sticker, I'll happily mail you one. So if you want to support the channel even more and get some benefits out of it, jump over to my members tab and become a member. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next one.